So, und dann bin ich wieder zurück. Wir haben jetzt viele Cutscenes. How about more cutscenes? So, gucken wir uns jetzt erstmal die letzten 3 Daydreams an. Three months after the Battle of Jormungandr's end, Major Reverie has sent me a confidential letter. I had no reason to decline the request with him, and so I paid a visit to Wellflame Palace. Could you give us some privacy? Certainly, Your Majesty. So, this is it. This was my dad's study. It feels a little surreal to be in here. I understand why it would feel that way. I had come to sort out his belongings after the war's end, but to my surprise there was nothing left to sort. He now was one for displaying sentimental goods and the like, but I can only assume he disposed of what little he had beforehand. I could see that for him, yes. But if there's nothing here, what is it you said you wanted to give me in the letter? It would be something I found in the ashes of his fireplace. This is... Judging by its date, I should think it came from his diary. Nothing else remained of the diary itself, unfortunately, but I thought you should still have this. Please take it. Thank you, Your Majesty. This is more than enough for me. Knowing he treasured this photograph to his last days means more than words can say. I'm grateful you thought of me when you found it. Then all is well. He was a lucky man to have you as a son. It was incredibly difficult for me to mourn him in public with his role in this war. But I heard you were able to carve his name into the grave he had made for your mother at your old home. Yeah, I took the chance when I was nearby for a branch chemist assignment. It's a quiet area of the suburbs, so I'd like it if he and my mom could rest in peace there. Gyurif was a great friend to me and a proud hero who lived in service of the Empire. Shall make it my business to visit the grave myself. I'd like to visit the Lance Maiden's grave in Crosby as well. I'm sure they would appreciate you being there. Not that I knew either of them well enough to speak on their behalf, of course. This is just as true for me, in a sense. I'd see him as a politician, but I only caught the slightest glimpse of him as a father. It's never too late to begin learning more, however, even if he is no longer with us. The Great Twilight is over, the nation's suffering has come to an end. This is no better time to give up the pieces we missed during our time of conflict. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Daydream from memories aglow. The more I look at it, the more surreal it feels. I saw something similar in the spectral moon mirror, but it's hard to imagine he used to smile like this. Guess it goes to show how little I really knew about him. Hopefully I can find more little things like this and take good care of them. Now we're in for a busy day tomorrow, so I better get some rest. I've accepted the Ebonite, but it's not by its will that I've chosen to bring destruction to the Empire. This is the only way to rid the land of the curse that has plagued it for so long. To end this world my loved ones call home will require renouncing my very humanity. Yet it is a price I'm willing to pay. From this day forward, I'll see myself as a being of blood with a soul of iron, guiding all through a future of conflict. I write these words in my diary to show that I have chosen my path, that my will is still my own. I knew I would need pawns to achieve the future I so desired. Not long after having this realization did I happen upon a boy with the gift of precognition. His name is Dr. Arundel. What a funny twist of fate that he should be the man's son. The boy had accepted the hand fate had dealt him, but his father's crimes, and that it would lead him to be silenced. I've given him a new home as one of my pawns, given him a purpose in the form of revenge. Do I do this out of compassion, an emotion I thought I'd abandoned? Or has seeing him reminded me of the son I've turned my back on? His father's crimes came to be the whispers of the Ebon Night. There is no reason for the child left behind to carry the weight of such an indelible sin. I know not whether his foresight has allowed him to see the ruin I am to bring about, but regardless, he has accepted my offer with great interest. My next meeting has come soon after my promotion to Chancellor of the Imperial Government. While on a state business meeting with the 4 great houses, I happened upon a fascinating young man. His name is Rufus Alberea, and he appears intelligent as he is hollow on the inside. Thinks of me as his true father, and he believes that besting me will give meaning to his existence. It feels almost cruel to find myself being called someone's father again. But meeting someone who seeks to do more than I ever could has been a fine boon indeed. May he show me humanity's potential. May he prove we are not powerless in the face of the curse, nor are we simple pieces on the game board. I know calling himself an Ironblood, a son of mine, will not be enough to satisfy him. Perhaps once he finds the answer he seeks, he will be fit to lead in times to come. Two years have passed since my appointment to Chancellor. Rufus and Lecter have served me well, and word of the Ironbloods has begun to spread. What has dampened this just so is the passing of an old friend from Force. The circumstances surrounding his death are highly suspicious, enough for me to suspect that the Ebonite was to blame. It was when I went to handle the matter personally that I happened to meet his daughter, Claire Reveld. In the clear manifestations of the Ebonite's dreaded hand toying with Erebonian lives. The tragedy had awakened a peculiar gift in her, a kind of enhanced cognition. I chose to leave the matter of her father's death in her hands, and though it pained her greatly to do so, she has demonstrated the resolve to stand against destiny. Thinking this meeting to also be fate, I have invited her to join the Ironbloods as well. What she will discover on this road to ruin, I do not know, but on behalf of my friend, I intend to bear witness as she finds it. I visited Reverie, and after negotiating with its mayor, it was agreed that it would be taken as a province of Erebonia's. And around that time, who should show as if she had been waiting for this moment all along but my dear friend. I'd heard she was calling herself this dear maiden after accepting a position in a society, but when talking to her, she was the same as I'd remembered. She still for to express concern for my well-being. With Jura now under imperial rule, the seeds of the curse have begun to blossom. The stage will soon be set for the rivalries. When I told her this, she left without saying much more. She deserves so much more for what she has endured. I wish I could have let her known, but perhaps she too would prefer to appear strong. A fourth member has joined the Ironbloods. Her name is Miriam Orion, the new model homunculi with the Near the last inner line, serial number OZ73. As pure and innocent a being I have ever seen, she was quick to gain a sense of self, developing in the blink of an eye. Miriam has been able to give the other Ironbloods what I cannot. The more time they spend with her, the more I see Claire and Lecter's expressions soften. I can only hope that through her they have regained a small portion of what the Ebonite took away. What a sinful manner of forging a sword, and what a fitting manner with the end it is destined to bring. I have long accepted that I will bear any sin for my goal, knowing full well my fate will be to accompany Ishmelka to Gehenna's depths. Fitzroy's role in ending the crisis in the battle was reported far and wide. When he soon after returned to the Empire like a hero aboard the Kingdom's sail, it was almost impossible to escape the story. Ja, die Cutscene hatten wir ja auch in Jason's Guide Third gesehen, was auch eine sehr coole Cutscene war. I visited the barrel to offer my own greeting before his departure. But by doing so, he reminded me once more that he is a man of endless surprises. It was as if the lion slumbering within the Empire had awakened and taken his form. As I executed my plan to fill the world with conflict, he seeks to find a third way. His efforts are nothing but a hindrance in bringing about a great trident, but I cannot help but feel excited by his declaration. If he's going to challenge me, then he had best put up a worthy fight. The conflict he seeks to stop will be great enough to engulf even Grossbell. I look forward to seeing how he intends to counter it. I received word that students from Force Military Academy would be coming to the capital on the field study. And among their class 7 was a familiar face. I had been given updates on his growth from Tio and Glea, but it was the first time I had seen him as a young man. I could see right away that he had become just like his mother, a kind soul who valued the well-being of others over himself. He is a picture of health now, and for that I am grateful. I regret to write, however, that the curse has had a clear influence on him, adding to his internal strife. I knew it was bound to happen. He has the heart of the one closely linked to the curse. I don't think of Kashia's face as she watches us from heaven, or the pain she must feel seeing the cruel fate I've entrusted upon our child. Does he know that if he cannot control himself now, then he has no chance of surviving the days that are yet to come? It will be long before the great twilight is upon us. What I can do is, as his mother does, watch and see how he fares. October the 13th, the newly independent crossbow destroyed our Garrelia fortress. As foretold in the Black Records, this led to Erebonia declaring war on Crossbow. There was one development, however, that I did not foresee. Coro Ambrose, the grandson of Jurai's mayor. He was but an ordinary boy on the surface, belying the searing vehemence beneath his skin that gave him the strength to match even me. Though everything has been proceeding as planned, he has allowed me to see the heights of humanity's potential for the first time in a long while. As time as this developed, another came to be as I had feared it would. Wien Schwarzer has accepted becoming an awakener for Valimar. The Ebonite's powers grow ever greater as the civil war rages on. The Azure Knight may be quite capable, but without sufficient resolve, it will fall against the Ebonite with ease. As the one who thrusts this upon you, I doubt you would ever want to hear this from me, but only you can change your course. I dearly pray you find the will to fight against your fate. July 18th, the God of Erebos has made manifest. Prince Reverie had broken through all attempts to obstruct him, reaching the scene. All for naught, he has met a tragic end. Human life is but dust to be scattered by the winds of fate, by you commoner or nobility, hero or villain. Even he was no exception to the rule and fell like any other. His loss is a deeply tragic one, for I had thought him uniquely capable of rebuilding the empire after the Great Twilight's end. The rings of the year have broken, and in the despair that followed, the sword of the end was swung at last. With Miriam's curious demise, the final restraint to a training Reen has been unbound. He has been consumed by the curse, becoming the sacrifice agreed by fate so long ago. And he thought he would succeed in suppressing its hold on him with how long he fended it off. It may be for the best that you live through this miserable period as a mindless ogre. By the time he returns to his senses, Debonite and I will no longer be of this world. I would ask that he be able to rest until the rivalries had reached their climax. September the 1st. Operation Humaganda and the final rivalry is now upon us. Though he fell to the fiery depths of despair, Reen rose from the ashes and has since fought valiantly for my defeat. The curse's power is at its peak, and still he prevailed. I can hardly believe how much he has grown. His friends may have played a part in this, but that alone does not explain it. What has elevated him to heights beyond prophetic imaginings? I wish I knew, as much as I wish I could have learned it by watching over him as a father. This isn't like me at all. I shouldn't be losing myself at such a critical point. Should he somehow defeat me, my son will be forced to bear the full weight of the curse's power. Yet, if he has the strength to oppose me, then I will take it as my first and final paternal duty to see him wrested from my grasp. To hope for miracles in this world is a fool's errand. Still, Goddess, are you so merciful as to lend your ears to one such as me? If so, then I pray, please shine a light. Reen's future. Das wurde ein bisschen zu schnell, aber ja. Huh? That felt too real to be a dream. Could be wrong, but I think I would trust my gut on this one. He was always prioritizing the happiness of others while shouldering burdens one should never have to bear alone. A father like son, huh? I wish I could have done more for him.
Ah, そうだったな。父さんからもらい、みんなの力でつなげてもらったこの命。これからも精一杯生きることこそ、きっと親孝行になるんだろう。それで俺の罪が許されるわけではないが。
おはよう、クルト君。今日もすっごくいい天気ね。早起きはまだ苦手です。
おはよう、ユーナ、アルティナ。それにミュゼとアッシュも来たのか。
昨日は甘いものを食べ過ぎてしまいまして、教官のためにも体型維持に努めようかと。
Music, Alter.
敗したぜ。お前らと時間がかぶっちまうとはな。
はいはい。なんだっていいから、みんなで走り込みを始めるわよ。
さて、俺もそろそろ支度を始めないとな。
Oh, wieder ein sehr schönes Bild. Not gonna lie. Daydream from memories aglow. The end. Aber noch ein sehr schöner Abschluss dazu. Oder gerade, also das ist das, was ich bisher bei Reverie sehr mag. Es ist nochmal ein sehr schöner Abschluss für den ganzen Erebonia und Crossbird Arc. Und theoretisch, also werden wir was später sehen, Coda ist nochmal so eine schöne Künneschleife für den allerletzten Punkt so vom Crossbird Arc. Aber ja. Das haben wir gesagt, wenn wir den dritten Playthrough anfangen. So, look back to look forward. Ich glaube, das ist so die erste Teaser-Cutscene für den Calvard Arc. Was ich im Kopf habe. Eternal Recurrence, stimmt. Der Eternal Recurrence Kanal.
うつろで確かなる善逸によりて駆動する世界という螺旋は、あなたが振り返ることでのみ真にして義なる顔を表す。後ろの正面だれ、人耐えられるや耐えられざるや。
Eternal Recurrence ist auch schon wieder so ein sehr loaded Term, not gonna lie. Aber es gibt schon mal einen guten Ausblick darauf, was jetzt eigentlich dann im Calvard Arc auf sie uns zukommt.
Ja, いるんだろう。
あなたがここを訪れるのは10年ぶり。レオンハルトと共に剣を授けた時以来ですか。カンパネルラの導きなしによくここへ至りました。記憶を半分取り戻したあなたならば造作もないでしょうが。
ああ、今の俺ならあんたの正体もつかむことができんだろう。もっともしちまったが最後この姿は保てなくなりそうだが。なるほど。やっぱりそういうことかよ。俺と縁もゆかりもねえ世界の話じゃあ済まされねえっつうことか。
ええ、ナンバーワンとしての務め、今しばらくは果たしてもらいましょう。使徒でもゼロでもなく1なればこそ果たせる知るべたるかがり火の役目を。
いいだろう。それなりに愛着は湧いてきている世界だ。しかしその様子じゃ鋼の後釜の目星もついてるみてえだな。
ええ、 しばしの猶予の後に背負いし重みがゆえ選ぶのはあくまで本人次第ですが。
へえ。
ちょっと待ちたまえ。
Hallo Noades.
よう博士、俺の断りなしに好き勝手やってくれたみてえだな。
いや、それは。
Er hat das mit Simulacra mitbekommen.
とりあえず主よ、失礼いたします。至急ご報告したいことがあるのですが。ちょうどいい、マクマン。君に聞きたいことがある。
え？
先ほど精神で観測していたエリシオン消滅までの再現シミュレーションが強制途絶した。結社関連でもなく財団や教会の仕業でもない、想定外の勢力の介入としか思えない。しばらく音沙汰がなかったようだが、何か知っているんじゃないのかね。
俺が知るかよ。って、ああ、そういうことか。破壊が言ってたあれじゃねえのか。最近いろいろと動き始めてるっつう。
まさか俺の方面に本拠を構えたという。
いや、失礼するよ。
おいおい、共和国でデビューしたっつう。
カルバード共和国新大統領
Sehr gute
グ
Frage.
ラムハート。どうしてこの精神の間に。いや、それより今のマークはやはり。
ああ、別に彼らと直接の関わりがあるわけではないよ。新生 CID 経由でとある筋から仲介してもらっただけでね。随分高くついたが、全てミラ次第というのはこういう時には明快でありがたい。
へえ。
お初にお目にかかる見食らう蛇のグランドマスター殿。その様子では私の訪問を待っていてくれたようだね。
ええ、我らの次なる計画における最大の潜在的競合相手。遅まきながら新大統領就任、ことほがせていただきましょう。
Das klingt nicht ganz so sincere.
ところで一つ提案がある。これより3年、いや2年半くらいでいいのかな。その間互いが進める計画については相互不干渉にしてもらいたい。
こいつはまた。
なるほど。鉄血殿とは別の意味で手強い交渉相手のようですね。受けたまわりました、ロイ・グラムハート大統領。我らが最終計画の第3永劫回帰と、そちらが始める世界の可能性に迫る計画。これより2年半相互不干渉といたしましょう。
ディール成立だ。これで中方針が立てられる。それ以外はぜぜひひと行こう。共和国憲章に抵触せぬよう一定の配慮はおすすめするよ。
To be continued. Das ist wirklich ein kleiner Teaser. The Calvard Republic ways. Ja. Im Calvard dürfen wir uns mit Ouroboros rumschlagen mit ihren Eternal Recurrence Plan. Und Eternal Recurrence ist extremst loaded. Zumindest für einen Begriff, was die Bedeutung angeht. Und es gibt schon mal eine gute Idee darauf, wo es hinläuft. Mit dem Calvard Arc, beziehungsweise in diesen 3 bzw. 2,5 Jahren, vor denen Reen auch schon gewarnt hat. Also die Schmelger Reen. Oh ja. Ja. Natürlich hat Graham was vor, womit wir keinen Spaß haben werden. Natürlich.
閲覧インターフェースを展開